Hello. On the topic of a spectrum of narcissism got me to thinking about the different kinds of narcissism that we read. We read about covert narcissists, we read about overt narcissists, we read about malignant narcissists. There's all this verbiage and it can get confusing, right? It can get confusing. Even with all the videos that I watch, it can get confusing. The bottom line is the words don't matter. The words don't matter. The definitions can allow you to wrap your brain around something and more readily see the person that you have in your mind with narcissism as fitting into one of the slots. So I'm going to try in this video to talk about each three and what I've learned, what I've gathered, and the information that I spit back to you, of course, I have gathered from reputable sources, right? People that are in the field, people that are doctors, people that are psychologists, people that, okay? It's not me making things up. I just want everyone to be aware that narcissism comes in all kinds of packages. And I started to talk about it on the last video with the family. It comes in all packages. So I think sometimes people get confused and they think, well, mine doesn't do that, so maybe he's not a narcissist. Well, mine doesn't act like that, so maybe mine's not a narcissist. And we use it to hang on to hope. I did that for a long time. Well, mine doesn't check that off. Maybe he's not fully a narcissist. And then what? Then there's the hope that they will change. And that's a dangerous spot to be in. A victim with hope is a dangerous spot to be in. So let's just back up for a second and just think about the definitions that come to mind, and they pretty much explain the different types of narcissism, right? So when you have an overt narcissist, overt, we know what that means, right? Right out in the open. They're a bully, and we've said that before many times. I've called narcissists bullies. They are. Especially an overt one, absolutely. They're right out in the open. They need the attention. Even if it's negative attention, they're going to be wide open about it. The covert, hidden, right? We know what that means. So they may still be a bully, but it's less obvious. It's on the sly. They're sneaky. They still need the attention, but their need for attention might come at you with excessive kindness. That's going to be the one that then gets you on their side. They're going to lure you in, right? We've talked about the love bombing. They're going to lure you in before they destroy. That's a bully too. They just happen to be maybe nicer about it, not as open about it, right? Because you can have an overt narcissist who comes at you mean. Now, a malignant is dangerous on purpose. The intention is evil. There's a particular level of meanness that is involved. The attention they need, that they require, may come directly from the fear they instill in you, right? You would never challenge this person. It grows and it gets worse and they destroy you. It's like a malignant, the word cancer, tumor comes to mind. It's going to grow and it's going to spread and it's going to be lethal. The thing with all the different types is that they all can have narcissistic personality disorder. There's a wide spectrum of behavior. Okay? So the overt wants to always win. Right? They always want to win. They have to win. They have to win at all costs. All costs. It could be a Monopoly game. They're going to flip the board if they lose. right? It could be anything. They have to win, and regardless of the cost, regardless of it, they have to succeed, and they're going to avoid things that they aren't good at. That's going to make them uncomfortable. The covert is concerned with image more so than overt. Overt will be right out loud, right in front of people, misbehave, act like a jerk. They have no skin off their back. The covert is much more concerned with their image. They'll even sacrifice the win if it makes them look good or benevolent at the time. The overt cannot be wrong and will punish those who challenge them. The covert might be seem a little more malleable. They'll get what they want from you, but they'll seem a little more, do you know what I'm saying? The malignant is not only never wrong, it's coupled with a paranoia that everyone is trying to get them. Everyone's out to get them. Everyone wants to be them, is jealous of them, is wanting to hurt them. There's a particular focused meanness. No conscience. Borderline sociopath. A malignant. The word malignant. Again, the words don't matter. If this behavior, any of these behaviors are in your life, and they have narcissistic personality, they're all detrimental to our mental well-being. None of them is a good person with whom you should associate. But when we hear all these different words and we get a little confused, right? The malignant one, if you're in pain, you caused it. You did something to make them do to you what is causing you pain. And what's more, they don't care. Either the overt or the covert may feign some, but the covert will definitely seem to be more sympathetic to your cause. The overt may even feign, once they're caught red-handed, a little bit like of a, "Ooh, I'm sorry, like I didn't mean to do that to you," before they go and do it again. The malignant, nope, you caused it. You did that to yourself. I didn't do that. Look at you. Yeah. And they're not sorry. And you deserved it. And you caused it. And look how you get. Right? The covert will remain calm, polite, all is good, and then in private, they'll unleash their torture on you. The overt, right in front of anybody, they don't care. They'll devalue you, insult you right in front of your family, right in front of your friends. The malignant, of course, will do that, of course, my God. They have qualities that overlap, of course. You follow what I'm saying? And that's why I say the definitions don't matter at all, because they all fall under narcissism. They just have different kinds of narcissists that they could be based on the kind of personality that they are. The infidelity, for example, with an overt narcissist, unapologetic, out in the open. Did I say overt? Because that's what I meant. Unapologetic, out in the open. I'm sorry. Well, you know what? We weren't getting along. You went away that weekend. What did you expect me to do? Right? Out in the open. Unapologetic. Maybe apologetic, but generally deep down inside unapologetic. Like if you get the apology, it's not genuine. A malignant person couldn't even muster up an apology. You may get the words out of a different type of narcissist, but I don't think any of them ever feel sorry. Some just have better ability to feign an apology than the other. It's really insidious, all of it. It really disheartens me when the more I think about it. I feel like just because the covert might hide it better in terms of cheating or infidelity, they may hide it better, or they not, maybe the covert narcissist, you might have somebody who you think, well, they've never actually physically cheated. Okay, so the flirting and all of that might be enough for the covert narcissist because they want to maintain the image of a happy home. I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with my person just because they don't consummate a physical cheating situation. And we talked about that before too. That doesn't mean they're not doing things to betray me. Just up to the point that they need their ego assuaged, but maybe they don't go over the line, so they convince themselves that's fine, I didn't do anything wrong. You see what I'm saying? I feel like for the covert, if they trying to hide it better, I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're not in as much danger with infidelity. Because at one point, at any point, it could go over the line. In order, the bottom line, to protect ourselves from any and all of anyone, anywhere on this spectrum, we just need to be aware. We need to be alert. We need to pay attention so that we recognize. And there is, like, just keep all of these things in mind. There is so much material on these 3 different types of narcissists. I could make 20 videos just on these 3 different types. I'm putting them all together because they do overlap, and I want to punctuate to you that they do overlap. They all have things in common. All of the qualities we've discussed. The love bombing, the abuse, the devalue, the smearing, all of the cycles that narcissists encounter and embark on, they all do these things. They just might be, more cunning about it. The covert you might not recognize that right away. The overt might be more brash. The malignant that's the person that you're going to look at and go, ugh, they're just a jerk. You'll still get sucked in. They love bomb you correctly, right? It doesn't mean that you're going to refuse their company if they love bomb you correctly. Mine was a jerk while he was love bombing me. Do you know what I mean? I should have seen it a mile away, but the love bombing was so good I chose to ignore. Right? We choose to ignore what we see. It's right in front of us. It's right in front of me. Ignored it. And when I think of the narcissist that I had in my family, for sure the attitude was anything that I felt I caused, any pain or uncomfortability I had with what was going on in the relationship was my fault. Anything, okay? So again, now you start to think of maybe different narcissists, and you try to put them in different slots. The danger with that, and the reason I'm making the video all at once together, and we will discuss any of these things again also going forward, but I wanted to put this together on purpose to punctuate. They all cross over into each other's lanes. It's all the same disorder. There are just levels and a spectrum to it, just like an autistic spectrum or a serial killer spectrum do you know what I'm saying? There's a spectrum of behavior. There's no right or wrong answer. There's no one way or the other. They have absolute black and white similarities and cycles that they go through and things that they feel and reasons they do what they do. Those are where you'll find your similarities. But don't let an outwardness of the person that you're trying to assess whether or not they're a narcissist trick you into thinking, well, you know what, mine didn't do that. Like, I tried to trick myself. My narcissist was so giving of himself in terms of doting and taking care of things and doing everything in this house. I did nothing throughout Corona. I didn't cook, I didn't clean, I didn't do anything because he was here and he did everything. So for a second you think, well, that doesn't sound like a narcissist. A narcissist usually isn't that benevolent. They're normally not that giving. Maybe he's not a narcissist. No, there's a whole spectrum of behavior. So they might have this in line, but look to their actions towards you. The ill behavior is what sets them apart. They might all, somebody might be overt, covert, malignant, and they might get to their disorder in different ways, and their disorder might manifest itself in different ways. If they have this disorder, then it's going to land in the same exact spot. You feeling awful, you feeling like you did something wrong, you being made to feel like it was your fault, you being made to hardly be able to forgive yourself for how crazy you got with them because you can't believe their deplorable behavior and they're not responding when you're trying to explain it to them. They're never going to. They don't see that they're at fault. That's something that they all have in common, isn't it? They're not going to take blame or responsibility, and if they do, it's fake. They don't feel they did anything wrong. The malignant narcissist might get an extra little charge if he hurts you really badly. They get a little charge. My narcissistic family member got a real big charge every time they hurt me. Real big charge. I saw it. Saw it all over the face. How do you gain joy from crushing another human is beyond anything I will ever understand in my life. And somebody might say, well, Renee, you're a scrapper. You can fight right back. You bet your sweet bippy I can. If somebody comes at me, I'm probably going to out-mean the narcissist. Probably. I'm a writer. I'm good with words. So I'm going to slice you right back up with my tongue. Are you kidding me? I'm not proud of that side of myself. I'm good with words. So I may out-mean the narcissist, but that's only because I can come up with things better than they can. That doesn't mean I'm mean and narcissistic and trying to inflict pain on someone. The last thing I do is go through life trying to slash people up. There are narcissists who do that. They get great joy out of that, out of bringing you pain. I'll defend myself or anyone that I love, and my mouth can get ugly if I'm in a situation with a narcissist and they put me to the task and now I'm toe-to-toe. I'll give it right back. It's an ugly side of myself. And I don't proudly say that I'll always out-mean the person. I just know how creative my mind can get, how good I am with words, and I'll come up with the thing that'll hurt you. Because once you hurt me, now I need to, right? You're like in the corner, you want to lash back out. And I've had to work on that, where I now try to remain, and remain. I don't like that side of myself. So I try not to do that back to them. And if you do, the whole point of me telling you that and admitting you that about myself, that doesn't mean you're a narcissist. That you're inflicting pain on someone. You're protecting yourself. You're defending yourself. You're lashing out because you were hurt. Those are reactory things that are very, very natural and very much built in as defense mechanisms to those of us that have suffered at the hands of a narcissist. And the abuse could be a trigger. It certainly is for me. I'm triggered. I am triggered with certain type things. So if they come up, right, boom. So I've had to work on that. So just these 3 different types of narcissists do exist. And I wanted to make this video so that if you're not seeing certain qualities, and say you look up a video and it's on malignant narcissists and you have a covert narcissist, I don't want anyone thinking, well, my guy doesn't do that. All right, I'm safe. He's not a narcissist. He might be a different kind. Doesn't mean he's not a narcissist. So take heed, pay attention, look for the signs, and know they come in all shapes and sizes.